Brook will figure out how to. Hey, all right. I think we are live.
Think so?
In theory, that should be the case. I believe.
Oh,
For some reason, it's
oh,
not going.
there's something. I see myself on the internet. All right, we're up. Here we are.
Why am I not showing anything on mine?
Keep refreshing.
I
I'm
am.
live. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube.
All right. So if we're
Hi,
live,
Brooke. Brooke, you've never looked better.
I was just going to say, I made the jokes about hair last week, and now Johnnie has cursed me to be voice only.
Karma.
why am I not showing anything on mine?
Yeah, don't think I didn't watch later.
I don't.
Yeah,
I,
you wasted a whole hour not making fun of me.
so we can't figure out why we can't get Brooke.
Yeah,
I saw you earlier, Brooke.
I know I flashed
You no, I mean
on
you
for a moment.
Yeah,
and
you're
then,
on. I mean you're on. So try doing it again. See what happens. Maybe we'll get
and then
the
I'm gone. I also have friend of the show, Jason, who is in my ear. He is a wonderful tech support guy. He says, "Hey, maybe I can help remotely." I'm like, "Go for it." So if there's any unsavory images, it's Jason's fault.
or stop using a Mac. I can see someone's.
What? No, you can't say things like that.
I mean, go with it. Yeah.
Hey Connor,
Hey, Gunner.
Woo-hoo!
so good to have you here.
You,
Boy,
you,
I can tell you right now, the end is nigh.
oh,
We have
Yeah.
on Tuesday, I believe it's Tuesday. Yeah, I finished editing episode 118, which is the final episode of campaign 1. So for all you folks out there uh, watching, it's coming to an end, and it was so weird to think about because the way I always do it is I've got different the session with all the different music and sound effects and everything, and once I've listened to it, then I put the final outro of this Michael Cross as Gaz and blah blah blah, and I
Mm.
put that in there before I mix the whole thing down because I want to make sure the sound works with the music that's falling out before it goes into the theme music. And I put it up there, and I just thought, this is it. Once I mix this down, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
really hard to realize that I had started this back in early July of 2020, my first time to edit a Red Dirt D&D show.
Yeah.
And
I'm with you. I was listening to it last night, and I got done, and I was like, "There's some moments that came out. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's like there was something that Michael said to me over a year ago that like hit in one of these last 2 episodes I listened to, and I was like, wow, over a year ago.
yeah,
It never seems like it's been that as long as it has been.
yeah.
no, not at all. Not
Yeah.
at all.
And
Go ahead.
there's a I don't want to spoil anything, but there's just a thing in the outtake that Carrie says that yeah. It's so everyone's seen Back to the Future, right? The whole trilogy. So it's like to be continued, and then to be concluded, and then the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
just kind of a something that was just kind of alluded to, and yeah, and I was like, oh man, this is yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
probably talk about this during the final quote unquote roundtable
Oh, yeah.
discussion of some things. But I do remember there were moments when the story's playing there at the end, and I think I may even had some body language where I was very clearly I was like, oh, there's a one shot thread for the future sometime
Mhm.
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's a one shot thread
Yeah.
for some time maybe in the future. So there are a few of
Yeah, oh,
these
yeah.
characters
I think
that
so.
might have stories left to tell. We'll
Mhm.
see. I don't want to give anything away.
Well, I think also that what I love is the idea that we could always bring the characters back to play at a con Yeah. If there's any cons out there that want to invite Red Dirt D&D to play a 2-hour game of the uh, Tales from the Caliban Frontier, we can certainly do that. There are other ways that we can continue this story a little bit if we need to.
Yes.
But the biggest thing is looking forward to campaign 1.5.
Oh, that's gonna be so. You stop with the giggly laugh because it's gonna be awesome.
You know what the bad thing is as I'm like writing outlines and such for the moment in the chair, I'm doing it in character.
Yes.
So it's like, you know what? I don't know who's going to run that. Who's going to run the game? Johnny or Twitch? The evil necromancer.
It's kind of like a reverse Ratatouille, like or no, maybe it's
Ratatouille, the real Ratatouille.
Johnny's head and then Twitch underneath the hat.
Take off the chef hat.
Never seen
Ratatouille. Something like that in Kiri shared something like that in the Discord chat. So.
With Rat Mercer.
Rat Mercer. Again, this may be more this may be more roundtable stuff for the final, but I wasn't going to listen to everything that we have access to until this weekend, but people in the cast started saying things, and so I was like, okay, I have to, and I did, and just we'll see what you guys out there in the world think, but just really great. But the thing that I had to do almost as a cleanse was I went back to the pilot. I sat there silently for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then it was a very Doctor Who moment for me. Like, I didn't want to go. And so I went back to the pilot and I listened about the first 20 minutes of the pilot, where Mokran's accent is horrific. It is absolutely terrible. It's still a test Mokran.
I think it'd be neat to kind of go back to play some of that. Like, I don't know, there's no way to really do that in the round table, but kind of do a "This Is Your Life." And
just like play like pick like the 10 best lines over the course of the 100 and some odd episodes.
Yeah.
And just like play them from beginning, yeah.
Which it'd be almost impossible because that's hours and hours worth of audio to try and listen to do that. But it would be cool.
It's like when we've had questions about what's your favorite moment, what's your favorite scene or line, and then we think of one, and then we're like, oh no, wait, it's this one, and then someone else says something, we're like, oh no, wait, it's that one. Oh no, wait, I want to change my answer. It's so.
I mean, of course, there's some that jump right out with I hiss comfortingly. So I am somehow comforted by that hiss. Which is, that's one of those things that would have ended up in the outro. I mean, in the outtakes. Had I been doing outtakes from the very beginning, that's something that probably would have been in the outtakes. But
it would have been.
Yeah, I thought I was so excited when the idea of the outtakes happened, because.
Which may have been Johnny's original idea. Maybe it might have been you with the brainstorm on that.
I think we all kind of came up with the idea.
How we were going to, and this is just a peek behind the curtain. It was the whole, when this whole thing first started, it's like, here's what others are doing. What are we gonna do? And I think I was looking for something that was similar to what others were doing.
Mm.
And the selling point for ours was we were doing something others weren't. It was the old radio style, the radio drama. You weren't listening to us flip through pages and look up rules and all the, the locker room humor or whatever and stuff. And so it was like, man, but still, it would kind of be nice to have some of that in there so people can get the element of not only are they getting, Zonimus and Mokran and Gideon, they're also getting Johnny, Michael, so that's kind of one of the reasons I think we started the 2 live streaming shows that we have, is to get, our personality out there. But then it was, I just like, somewhere through discussion, it was like gag reels. And I think it was kind of dismissed. And then Michael, you just popped up one day and said, So there's a gag reel now.
Yeah, it's, yes.
It was like, listen to the end of this one, you're gonna like it.
Yeah, because we'd basically been shooting it around, and I'm like, but how do I do that? Do we put it up just for patrons? Do we make it a different episode? And then I pulled a couple of them out, and I was like, I can't use these, and I ended up saving them in their own file because I was like, okay, maybe we'll save them for later. I thought, wait a minute, I could just put little, sound into them. Wait, watch stream. What's that from?
Is it me? Is it you?
Sorry, I'm interrupting the whole thing.
Johnny is smiling like a Cheshire cat.
I don't want to go.
Yeah. Okay, carry on.
This moment of a file that's sitting there on
the
desktop.
Yes. So and so I thought, well, maybe I could do like a record scratch type thing, kind of like kind of this is a throwback to what we were doing. And when it came all together, it was like, this is how we show that we are playing a game, that it's still us. It's Johnny, it's Kiri, it's Ash, it's Brook, it's Connor. We're all together having a game, but we're not. But it doesn't interfere with the storytelling, because that was the worst. And if you listen to a lot of podcasts, they don't take that stuff out, and it's like, for one thing, it makes the podcast a lot longer because there's no editing at all, and it distracts from the story. And so I wanted to be able to keep the story in, but still have our funny moments. So when I was like, oh, I'll just put that at the end, and it all kind of came together as one big thing. I was like, that's it. We've done it. We've done something different than. Although I have heard a couple others starting to copy that a little bit. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Flattery imitation is the best form.
Yeah.
You know what's really weird that I've noticed, Michael, is, and I'm not going to sue anybody over it, maybe, but
maybe.
So there's a different. There hasn't been a 5e published Wild West setting, not even third party. And then we started this, and Ash created, Ratoya and the Caliban Frontier, etc. And we've all brought it to life. And about 6 months into it, a YouTuber that I watch, XP Level 3, puts out a book on Kickstarter of these cool little one-shots that are kind of unique. And one of them is an Old West train heist. And it shows a shot of like a small town the train's going through. And I'm like, oh my God, if you change the name of that saloon to the Jackalope, that would totally be.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right?
Cool.
So then since then, from like then to today, I keep seeing more and more third party stuff pop up. And even some other live play, not celebrity live play, just some, pretty decent, live plays that'll do some one shots here and there, have started doing some Old West stuff, Wild West stuff. And it's like, is there someone watching something and getting inspired? It's like, what are the odds?
Yeah, or is it blue car syndrome?
Oh,
blue car. You've heard about this, right? The idea that you never see a blue car until you buy a blue car, and then all of a sudden everybody's driving a blue car. Yeah,
I never realized the name of it, but yeah, like I never noticed an El Camino until I drove one day, and I was like, hey, they're all over the place.
Yeah, and I think, and it's that way. Whenever you know something, then you see it all over the place. For example, okay, can anybody explain to me what meet cute is?
Spell it. What?
MEET, cute. I'm going this out to everyone on the chat too, guys. If anybody on the chat, meet cute, MEETCUTE. It has something, I think, to do with dating. But I've heard it like 4 or 5 times in like the last 2 weeks, and I don't know exactly what it is.
There's a movie. There's a 2022 movie,
and as a man of a certain age, you're afraid to click on it and find out.
Yeah, no, I've heard this too, so I just Googled it. And it just hit me. One of the headlines from just yesterday is Kelly Cuoco from Big Bang Theory and Pete Davidson were in a movie together, and there's been a lot of interviews lately about how she met him like a year before they ever started filming it, before they ever got cast in it. It was like, hey, really fun to do something with you, and stuff. And it's for some reason it's been a buzz lately because of her, and she just got married or something, and then this movie just came out late last year or this year, whatever. And
it's basically when as Connor put it first, it's when you have a cute first meeting, usually when you're dating.
Okay.
I guess, okay, so my wife and I guess so our meet cute would have been at our first. We had a church drama group,
It's so cute.
and
Wait,
it was
I
our
just did it.
it was our
Dang it.
first time to meet. I don't know, but it was adorable because I came in like you know me. I can be cocky as hell sometimes, and that's what I was. I was being all cocky and totally ignore. And she apparently like a couple weeks later had like a total crush on me, and I didn't even notice.
Wow.
I feel like that's the kind of stuff that summons Kiri to the chat to demand the other side of the story.
Yeah.
You know, that is funny. You said that she had a crush on you and you didn't notice. I'm notoriously terrible at realizing I'm being hit on.
Yeah, I'm too. I'm awful. I'm just so
Which I guess is a good thing in some situations.
yeah. I was doing a show at Jewel Box Theater called I Hate Hamlet. Was playing John Barrymore, and and Kimberly had come to see the show with my mom and the whole family and stuff like that. Well, she had decided that she was also going to come see it all by herself on the final performance. And apparently, what I understand from her was she was so nervous. I mean, she like butterflies. She was so because she was gonna, And I was like, oh, that's great. As far as I'm concerned, she's just a friend from our church drama group, and that's great. And I thought, hey, if you want to, you can hang out afterward. We're gonna strike the set, and you can, And she goes, sure, sure. So she got to meet all the cast, and we hung out for a while. And finally, she's like, well, oh wait, are we getting Brooke?
I don't know. Try. Keep going.
And
it's so cute. It's summoning me to the chat.
Yes. So she said, well, she had to leave. And I said, okay, well, I'll walk you out to your car. And so I walked her out to her car and I gave her a hug. And then she gave me a kiss. And that's when we kissed. And it was like, oh, you feel this way about me. Oh, okay. I had no idea.
Everything else started making sense.
That's right.
You're like, that's why you wanted coffee. That's why you asked me what I like to eat. That's why you.
Yeah.
It's all so clear now.
It's like, what are those? I can't pull the movie exactly out of my mind. Oh, maybe like with Han Solo and Princess Leia sitting there in the Ewok village, and she's like, he's my brother. And she gives him a kiss and his eyes go like, oh,
really wide. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So,
Yeah. So
one of those moments.
We had a wonderful little courtship and then got engaged and married, and we've been married for more than 10 years now. It's been awesome. Brooke, what is going on?
Evidently, I have a gremlin of some type, and I just can't quite figure out what alien technology wants to use my camera instead of letting me broadcast. But
it's the
that's
government.
okay.
It's the government.
There was the issue. Wait, were those
or goblin
classified? Okay, never mind. I can't. Oh, you know
or
what it is?
What is it?
I know what it is.
What?
It's the universe because over my shoulder is something that I was going to brag about and boast a little bit because we have a Patreon member who has gifted the cast something, and mine is sitting right over my shoulder so you guys would possibly notice it and say something.
Well,
have we received these gifts?
No, I have them all.
Jeez. So now
you have to wait until Sunday to see them. And I was going to be very. I'll go like, oh yeah,
Is there a taxidermy jackalope?
A taxidermy jackalope.
Jackalope spit. Dang it.
Jackalope spit.
Jackalope spit.
Spoilers.
Spoiler. Dang. Sorry.
By the way, yeah, that one stayed in there definitely. So yeah, this Sunday we are recording. Just to kind of let you guys know. So when we do end campaign 1, Tales from the Caliban Frontier, we're going to have 3 episodes, which are basically reminders, just a look back at the past 2+ years of us sitting around a table and playing Dungeons and Dragons. That'll be 3 episodes, and then 1 episode of looking ahead to campaign 1.5. And then after that, we will start airing campaign 1.5 episodes, which should be the second week in November.
So you have 4 episodes of us, and then a new story starts.
Right.
Woo!
New story, new characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
The new episodes of Red Dirt D&D will still come out every Wednesday. It's just for the next 2 weeks. It'll be the 4 weeks after the last episode. It will just be kind of us reflecting. Also taking any questions. If anyone has any questions, send it to us.
That's true.
Shoot.
An incredible
I have a lot of
time.
questions. I have many
It's going to be an incredible time for the new Discord tier, the new Discord bonus. I'll figure out the right words in a minute. Patreon opportunity for people to send in their voice or send in a shout out or, give a hoorah. So, or a what's up or a hey, WTF with that.
Give us steaming whistles.
Steaming whistles.
Oh wait, that's also a way to summon Kiri. When you heard up in the chat and correct me that it's not steaming whistles, it's steam and whistles.
Steam and whistles.
I'm just saying "n" instead of "and." It sounds like steam. It sounds like whistles that are steaming.
That's okay. For the first half of the run, I thought Makron's name was Macron.
Right. And Ash kept calling me Zominous.
Zominous, yes.
Zominous.
I think that one for till about episode 8.
Yeah.
Red Dirt dyslexia. Here we go.
Yeah. But of course, there was so little that I listened back to the old episodes, and it's like, man, I would have cut that out. I would have cut that out. That should have gone in the outtakes. What sound? What the hell sound is that?
Now, will 1.5 have a very story-heavy presentation with outtakes? Or how do you have any vision of that yet? I mean, we haven't done anything with it yet.
Because that's exactly. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what anyone. I have never been more nervous about DMing a game. The only good thing about it is 3 other people get to DM before me.
It's gonna be glorious. I look forward to seeing how that, like for example, Twitch, who Johnnie plays. I look forward to seeing what happens to him. I look forward to see what happens with Blackjack as Michael rolls toward the chair. Does he become an NPC kind of advisor in the background? Is there some trauma that happens every week and snips a character away or unconscious? I mean, it'll be interesting to see how each DM takes care of that. It'll be fun.
I think even more so, Brook, is seeing how every person handles this new character. Because the weird thing is we all kind of came in with pre-made characters not designed around the other players or characters.
This is the characters we made for the audition
Exactly.
process.
That's what I'm saying. They were their own individual characters that had nothing, which kind of fit for who we were. We were kind of just a thrown together type group of players. This time we've designed this party. We have purposely designed this party, and we're a lot more comfortable in our thespian skin, as it were, to do more with character voices, to do more with character backgrounds, character stories. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what we do with 1.5 as actors, as a cast. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we do.
Yeah, we're more comfortable with the people we're in the room with, and we're more comfortable in some of the early days.
Now I gotta kill all those people, Poppy.
In some of the early days, I remember sitting across from Kiri and seeing like nervousness of like it hitting her. I'm about to talk into this microphone, and the whole world could hear me if they were listening.
Yeah,
kind of thing, and not pointing her out, but I was just sitting across from her, looking. It's like she's mentioned before. It's like I'll look up and Johnny's just staring at me. I'm like, I'm just staring forward. But then, a handful of months into it, and she's just owning the microphone, and it's hers. And it's definitely going to be fun to see and some people will make a character with that in mind of, oh, I'm timid or I don't know everybody at the table, so I'm going to make the character that might be quiet
Right.
and reserved, so that I don't have to be as boisterous or as involved and such. And now at the end of it, now it's like we're all fighting for the mic.
Yeah. And also, it's so
Great.
funny because once we started the outtakes, how much that changed. It's like, okay, this is going to be cut out. This is going to be an outtake, but I got to say it.
True.
Or yes. Johnny would look over me and go, "Cross, cut this out."
And then this litter rip. I would go NSFW. Kind of like the cider commercial. Well, anyway, that's another.
Oh, let's see.
Dunick says, and this is a great question that I think we'll probably revisit with everybody on cast, but he says, how are y'all feeling about expanding the world building?
Yeah.
That's the other thing. That's the other big thing. Along with our characters, we are much more comfortable in this world now. And that changes everything. It makes us more comfortable with the idea of world building, Dunick. It makes us feel more comfortable with working with each other, that I can know that I can add something that will be yes-anded by the rest of the group.
Yeah.
So like the tiny things that were added in 1 are going to show up in 1.5. A lot's going to be sprinkled into 1.5 that's going to show up in 2.
I think that's true.
And I have this, I don't know if everyone else does, maybe you took a speak on it. I have this sensation of, yes, when I think about the world building and the contribution to that, I'm leaning to a mystical aspect, like the more magical, mystical, what's in the shadows, not a dark edgelord type, but we were out in the bright sunshine and the open and the prairies and the valleys and the towns that were uppity until it wasn't. And then we saved the day. And I just kind of see this now as like an old Disney adventure animation that was all animals and would get just some like dark magical. Like the Secret of Nim keeps coming to mind,
right?
Or that's going to play with some world building.
I feel that,
and I think our showrunner is still wanting to have that kind of aspect, but also still even more of a Western, but to do the more fantasy side of Western, to really dig into that fantasy side. Whereas Ash's Tales from the Caliban Frontier was so very Western. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and this, we want to go more for a fantasy type Western. And I think we feel comfortable doing that. Yeah,
for sure.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, especially since the characters that we're playing are all furries, except for one.
He's a furry spider.
He's a furry spider.
It's all Blackjack's fault that we're here anyway. So.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense going into the. I mean, because I'm imagining things like in the fantasy world, you walk in and the trees get thick, and then there's a cave opening through the trees, and there's vines hanging down, and you move them out of the way, and it's all kind of pretty and majestic. Or they're dried up and they're crumbly and they creak when you move them because it's desert.
Yeah.
So there's still that old West feel of, I'm going cactus and tumbleweed, but like the fantasy.
Yeah.
Going in with.
I think the fact that we've also said it kind of more of a Northwest type of the forests of the Northwest of America.
Yeah. Or even Northeast with the Iroquois type of setting. Either one of those works so well.
Yeah. It's got that, it's going to have that feel of more
Wendigos, Sasquatch, who knows what's out there in the woods.
Yeah, exactly. Up in those mountainous forests,
Yeah. Another thing that's great is not only are we more comfortable, but Ash, this is their world at the beginning. They created it. They have huge investment in it. And that trust had to be built that they can hand over a blank page to us, or, hey, will you fill in this paragraph?
Right.
And that we can, not only deliver, but also not mess it up. And so that's been super exciting to watch that happen as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity to world build, and then return in campaign 2. you know,
Which is going to be again a whole new type of world building. Not to spoil anything, but it's still where we are,
yeah,
but different. And so there's going to be a whole new set of opportunities for world building that's very exciting.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have really the whole idea is that Red Dirt, whether it's this, whether it's the podcast, or whether it's Secrets of Monster Island, the idea is that it all takes place in this one world, regardless of
Yes.
where we are. And so I like that idea of this one world that we've created, and we just because you can, and so it's a world you can build that. I mean, heck, Critical Role's been playing in the same world for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait,
the
Johnny, come
caveat-
on. What were you gonna say?
No,
with the caveat that you don't know what's in the
There's a-
cave.
there's a-
Like, where does the cave go? You know?
there's a big thing happening right now in Critical Role that
Yeah.
has made me think about 1.5, and 2. If it could happen, and it could. So I'm spoilers if you're not up to date on Critical Role, but something has happened to a lot of the characters.
They broke
but
the
it
internet.
Really happened to another one of them.
Yeah,
One of them.
they broke the
We're
internet.
like, how could someone save this character? How could this character be helped? And it was like, what if these people, because so and so knows this person, and that person knows this person from that campaign, and from campaign 2 was this one who knew these people. Could we get Caliph in here to perform a miracle and fix this situation? And I'm like, wow, could somewhere in campaign 2, could August know Twitch, and therefore Twitch is connected somehow to Poppy, and could get Poppy into campaign 2, 3 campaigns down the road, just to do a one-time thing. And the benefit of it that Critical Role is doing is both characters are played by the same player. So it could seriously be sure, this character, you can get a hold of them and have them commit. Now, there's reasons why they can't. The character would say no because that person was highly connected to bad people from campaign 1. That's another story. Anyway, but it got me thinking. I was like, wow, you could pull character. I don't think it would fit in 1.5, but in campaign 2,
Right.
campaign 1 characters could be referenced, pulled in, seen passing on the street.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's interesting off of that idea is that Blackjack and Xionsi are coming from the Feywild,
Right.
where the holiday special characters have been. Who's sitting around there watching? Who was in the crowd watching the tournament while the holiday special characters were having to recover items? I mean, were Blackjack and Xionsi sitting over there with some popcorn?
Wow, so they're going to have a conversation like, so I knew this angel once with wings, but didn't know how to fly.
Yeah,
I
there
had
was
no idea how to
there was
fly.
this doctor, and
They all had these coins. I don't know.
Yeah.
They were talking to somebody that no one else could see but them. Go watch our holiday specials if you have.
Have we got Poppy on the line? Is Poppy in here yet? Because this would be Poppy's got to watch this one
It's a
now.
Poppy thing, yeah.
Yeah, this is totally a Curie thing. Yeah,
That's super exciting,
yeah.
Johnny. I love that idea.
And that's because we do know that there, and there's actually one line, you guys, you got to wait till episode 118 to get it, but there's a line that Poppy says, and that Brook says back to her, that I'm like, it could really come up in campaign 2. So.
Caesar planned it.
Yeah. It took me a minute. I was like, "What are you?" Yep. I know what that is.
So, and unfortunately, y'all gotta wait. Well, two and a half weeks, unless you're patron members. Unless then it's only like two weeks in a day or so.
The Landlocked Siren contacted me today. She's catching up on some things, and she said, episode 115. So if you guys haven't listened to 115 yet, here's just an itty bitty tiny spoiler. She says, the poker game and prep for the big battle is very sweet and poetic, ... and also awful, ! Are you people gonna make me cry?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
we haven't done our job if we don't make you feel the emotions.
That, it's one of the things that we knew from the very beginning when we put this together. Although we were going to allow ourselves to have fun and be funny, this was going to be more about telling story, and story has its tragic moments. It has to. Even your greatest comedies have to have their tragic moments. Otherwise, they're not great comedies.
Yes.
So.
I love this game so much.
Yeah.
I love
There's a moment.
this game so much.
I'm not going to spoilers, but there's a moment in the final few episodes where you hear Brook exclaim, "God, I love this game."
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah.
I know.
It's true.
You said that. I just started giggling out loud on my couch.
And he said that before. He's actually explained
Yeah.
that many times, and they usually end up in the outtakes.
This one, I don't think this one was in an outtake. I think it was just. Yeah.
It may have slipped in. It
might have.
So.
It was fitting. It was appropriate. It was on Michael's turn. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, we
I know when that was. I know when that was now. Yes.
I'm also looking forward to, and if anyone's not caught up yet, a little bit of a spoiler, I'm really looking forward to actually playing a character that I originated again, because I'm kind of ending this series on a character that I hadn't really planned to be in the show in the show. So it'd be nice to, hopefully he'll make it through to the end.
Talking about meek characters and quiet characters, and I don't know exactly how I fit in to this new table, so I'm gonna play quiet characters. Gaz was exactly what we needed. We needed someone who would come in and be like, "I'm Gaz, and I'm big, and hi, friends," and throw an arm around us. Even if the rest of the characters were like, "Wait, what? Who's this guy?"
I was not ready for that. That's why I created that character, was to be, hey, I'm going to join your party. We're going to go on adventures. And then Kiri threw the biggest monkey wrench in that and made me want to cry.
Oh, yeah.
Because
that's when Poppy started getting really emotional.
Yeah, and I totally and Poppy played it right. That is how you're spending. It's actually it's always weird when in a D&D game you always do that. The character dies, and so the player rolls up a new character, and the new character comes in. And then most of the time they're like, oh yeah, it's a new character, blah blah blah, and move on. Kiri played it just exactly right. Played it like Poppy. Who is this guy? Why do I don't trust this guy. And it made me it broke my heart because I was Gideon had totally earned her trust. And now this new guy comes in and it was like, oh, I've lost Poppy.
Yeah. It was kind of like everyone else was like, hey, able fighter. Hey, another warm body.
Yeah.
Hey, someone as crazy as we are.
Yeah.
And then Poppy was like, we're fine. We don't need someone else.
Oh,
we had someone else, in fact. We don't need you. Yeah. It was good. It was well played.
But then it
created some great moments.
Yeah. Then it also made me realize, that I turned to Ash and I said, we actually missed an opportunity for me to play someone who was actually working with the Empire and infiltrating your group.
Oh,
and that would have been awful, but it would have been so good.
Like at the end, you rip your mask off and you the whole time.
Yeah. But because I didn't realize it until Kiri just totally mistrusted me. Like I hadn't thought of oh my god, I could have played that character. I could have played the character that was totally, hey, he's the good guy.
The reason you had a tail is because you were a polymorph tiefling.
Yeah.
I mean something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who can say that doesn't happen though, listeners?
So no, Gaz, I wanted him to be more because after episodes 66 through 70. It was just such a downer. I'm like, we need somebody who's going to be a little more of a laugh, drawing stick figures and, wanting to go out and adventure. That was his old goal, was just to go out and adventure. And so.
Yeah, it was, and it's weird as well. But Gaz comes in and he has other adventures, and yes, some of those folks have retired and are starting families, but that also means that there are flashback possibilities with Gaz and Zakaya. I'm going to get those names wrong, but
Casa and Micaiah.
Casa and Micaiah.
And there was the girl the cleric that was in our group, who she was human, and she went back to Rock. What's the name of that city? Rock something.
I'm sure it was Rockburg, something very
Or
European. Was
Rock
probably
Hill or Rock
no, it wasn't.
Rocktown. I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's where she was from, and she went back there when our group broke up. So that's a mystery character that could come back as an NPC. Um, it's certainly Casa and Micaiah could come back in. Of course, all these NPCs, Smithson, Kikiak.
Yes.
You know, um,
God, I should have made a case for having Kikiak as the
Nah,
Tales of the
well,
Caliban.
oh yeah, that for the Tales for the Ironwoods.
Or Tales from the Ironwood, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we haven't started it yet. You want to bring Kikiak in instead of Ziansi?
Ziansi. We have too much backstory building, too
It
much
wouldn't be
potential
furry.
with Blackjack and Ziansi, so
I think it would be so fun if someone brought Kikiak in as an NPC though. It's 5 years
Oh.
later. You don't know if he's still hanging out with Smithson.
yeah, they could have had a falling out. Maybe they needs to get the band back together again.
Or
I
just
don't know.
not a falling out. He could have just, hey, I gotta go travel. I gotta go, gotta spread my wings. He is
I'm
Eric
not feeling
Coker.
like there's a missed opportunity for one of us to have made a character for 1.5 that only says one word, like Groot.
Groot, yes, I am
But
Groot.
it's how they say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's always the exposition. Like, so Samson looks at you and says, blah, blah. But what they really mean is, and you go on this like 20-minute speech.
Somebody does that. It's not Poppy. Sometimes Kiri does it a little bit, but someone in another podcast does this thing where they're like, so I give them the look, the look that means, and it's like a 9-paragraph relay of info. We do it all the time. They know. It's like, no, they don't. No,
Well,
not even Navy SEALs communicate that well.
Well,
together.
and Johnny was doing that as Anonymous. Was like, I give you the look, the look that means
Yeah,
this,
the look.
and we all go, yeah. Especially, I mean, even though I think we got to do a much better job in 1.5 and 2 of keeping track of actual time, game time, because we're like, how long has it been? Has it been 3 weeks or has it been 4 or 5 months? How long have we actually been together?
Connor
The
will be quick to
interesting thing
tell
of
us
that
we
is-
spent 3 weeks in the last stop. So,
Yeah. It's so weird with that because I played a Pathfinder campaign that took 4 years. I mean, it was 7 books. It took you to 20. And it was like somewhere in like book 5, someone said something about time or whatever. It's like, and the GM was like, oh, wait, each one of these books and every chapter has a calendar. It's the Pathfinder calendar, just the months
Yeah.
and everything. But
Yeah.
he's down and did the math. He goes, oh, yeah, you guys have been together for like 2.5 months. We're like,
I know.
what?
Yeah.
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 And,
Now-
yeah, like book 3, you guys were just together for like 2 weeks. There were no time jumps, but it's because the players start to feel that bond. It's like, well, do the characters have the same bond? And yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and my Saturday group, when I was running them through the classic games of Keep on the Borderlands and Isle of
Yes.
Dread and all that, I kept a specific time. I mean, I was keeping track of every day through the Greyhawk calendar, so I knew exactly how long they'd been together and exactly what they'd been doing. It took us a year, and they actually were together. The characters were together for about 9 months, 8 or 9 months.
in an
It's
old
decent.
school
Yeah.
in an old school game of 1E AD&D, you would have to have these training times,
Yes.
And so it wasn't just like dun 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 dun, we're now second level. It's like, no, you need to go pay for some training, spend some time training. You're not going to be second level until 2 weeks from now or a month from now, or
Yeah.
like as it went up. And so was there any reference to that in the redos of the modules?
Not in the modules. And I didn't want to do, because training. The problem with training, especially if you're going into a deep dungeon that's going to take to 3 or 4 levels, is the
Yeah.
idea of having to leave that dungeon and go back to town and train. I didn't want to do that. I just kind of kept track of the time, but there was it was very specific, but I also think that was in the 1E. That's why the first edition age was such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
You know, you could, before you hit third level, have aged an entire year because of training, because of downtime, you know. So I think that was much more important in the first edition. And although we still have age in fifth edition, since everything kind of goes from one to the next, I got my 17th level orc barbarian. I don't think he's aged a year yet. You know, whereas in the first edition, by the time you're 17th level, you've actually been 10, 12, 15 years for you to reach that level.
You bet. It's hard for old school players sometimes. These kids and their newfangled games that move really fast. You know, back in my day, it's hard sometimes to be like, oh, you know, we're fifth level already, and it's only been 2 months or whatever.
Yeah.
So
and I really don't think
Good.
I don't think Tales from the Caliban Frontier was more than 4 months.
Oh,
What to find out?
Pretty tight. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
But I think what you were talking about, Johnny, is do the characters bond that much? Yeah, you. Whereas we're only spending 4 hours. For us, it was 4 hours once a month together. These characters are spending, even if it's only 4 months, they're spending 4 months. You know, imagine how tight you are with your roommate when
life or death situations.
Yeah,
24 hours a day.
Yeah, and even more than just a roommate, because you're with these people. You're fighting together. You're sleeping together. You're eating together. Yeah, there is and you like you set up watches. You're not just even living together. You are just a group. Yeah, it's called trauma bonding. Yes. Very much right, Connor. Spot on. So I think that the characters bond probably even more so than the players do, and that's why when the fights were so tight, like the first time that Hydra battle is the one I really think of. That one moment where we were tight, as a team. That's what you love to see when a party comes together. And I think that's what happens with characters. The idea that the characters, they know you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, and we'll all do it at the same time, and no one can stand against us. And I think that even that happens with the Mind Eater, and it might happen at the final ending of. You'll have to tune in to listen whether or not in the final battle with Cimarron, whether or not that works as well. So.
Or Connor turns on Makran and kills him, and then we go home. Who knows what happens?
I still can't. Never mind. I can't say the thing that Zonimus does.
No.
Which is a throwback to the train. I can't talk about it.
No. God.
I know. I think that's the other thing is there was the realization when I think it was it after episode 12 or 13 when Ash said, guys, this is coming to an end. We're like maybe a session or two away. And I think we all thought, really? We're here? This is it?
It came much faster.
Well,
it seemed like I had 6 months left, I thought. And then,
I know. And they were spot on. We could have dragged it out. But why? And I know groups that do it. I know actual play podcasts that do that. They kind of draw it out and they make it linger.
That big closure to get, instead of like an exposition of what next, they actually play it out. And it's like, well, this is great, but I want to get invested in it because it's good. It's going to stop.
So once we realized the ending was coming, we'd already been planning for campaign. When did we start? We started last October, didn't we? With campaign 1.5?
We started planning for campaign 2, and then the idea of campaign 1.5 came after we were all discussing like, that would be so great if it was this, and then 1.5 kind of came along. It's like, hey, let's not go 1 to 2. Let's go 1.5 to.
Yeah, give Ash a break. Give the DM a little bit of a break to create campaign 2. And I think once it started forming, and once we started forming our groups, I think it was because we really formalized it at Uncanny Comic Expo.
when we were
in Shawnee.
like a party, all hanging
yeah,
around
we were.
talking for the day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We all sat there on our phones looking up different.
By the time we were at Denny's, we had.
I was the soft drink server.
That was our Avengers shawarma moment when we're all at the Denny's after Comic-Con, Uncanny Comic Expo.
Yeah. Michael, I have a burning question that I'm sure the audience has too. But you absolutely do not have to answer this at all whatsoever, or you can answer it for patrons only if you want to. But in campaign 1.5, when it comes around to you and you're in the DM seat, on which one of your episodes are you going to one-shot Ash's character?
At what point am I going to power word kill the Ash?
Or just an insanely built ranger just gets the right shot.
You know, I think every episode of that, at some point, you should just look over and say, Ash, how many hit points does Central have? And then just leave it and go on with whatever happens.
No matter what their answer is, just go, just move on. Yeah. Okay, so and then after you swing your sword and do 13 points of damage, you pull out your health potion and get ready to drink it. Is that your turn? How many hit points do you have?
And how many hit points do you have? Okay, just checking.
Just keep them on their toes the whole time. It's gonna be wait a minute, Michael, what's going on? That's gonna
that'd be so evil. I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, I
can just in slow motion say something like power, word, sleep. And then just make them go to sleep.
Power word chill.
I want Twitch to have that spell so badly. Power word sleep. He doesn't have the full power for that. He's like power word sleep.
That's as good as I can do.
That's what you should do. That's what you should do for your rat folk. Is every time you cast a spell, it's like power word magic missile.
Or power. It's gonna be, and I cast fireball and it's magic missile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't do that because that would just confuse our audience because they're listening.
Yeah. That's gonna be Twitch's whole thing. Is he is much bigger in his own mind. It was like, man, you made Zondimus like dark and brooding and edgy, and it sounds like you're just making another dark, brooding, edgy. No, he's gonna be the laughing stock. Yeah,
I do like Hal's power word tickle.
Well, that's for the other show.
Oh, that's Red Dirt. Never mind.
That's Red Dirt after
dark.
After dark.
Called Red Dark.
We've been promising a Red Dirt after dark, and I just don't.
My safe word is Gideon.
Oh God! I can't. Boy, that's a block right there. I tell you what. Way to go, Brook.
Blocked at him.
Ultimate block.
Oh my God!
I'm done with this show. Let's go.
It is. Oh my goodness. I don't know if anybody else had fun, but I did. But chat, you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so good to see you, man. Oh. Woo.
Oh, Hal, too soon. Too soon.
Oh my God. Curtis is killing me.
I know. Yeah.
Man.
What's your safe word? Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. These are all great blocking words.
Yeah, we are coming to the end. So everybody, make sure you check out Secrets of Monster Island on Mondays. Yes. We recorded last Saturday and had a very shocking ending to our session.
Dun, dun, dun.
Massive shocking. Make sure you check that out. My hair's all weird.
Up to episode 30 now. Of Secrets
40.
of Monster Island? 40.
Almost 40.
Yeah.
Wait, I got my notes right here.
Am I behind?
And that was episode 43 we ended on.
36 is what's up right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just ended
you're
43.
pretty far ahead.
And yeah,
You're pretty far ahead. Nice.
it's getting a lot of fun.
Nice.
And had a massive battle this past weekend. So yeah, make sure you check that out. What else going on? Let's see. We just dropped episode 115. Episode 116 I'll load up tomorrow.
We have a roundtable coming on Friday.
Roundtable coming up tomorrow. So
yeah. Oh, goody.
Yeah.
You and Ash are going to continue to talk D&D next Tuesday.
Yeah. If you are a patron member, you get that full hour of the roundtable. If
you know what?
It's still free, but you only get 15 minutes. We give you just enough to get paid
it's
for it.
It's a good one. What is it?
Next week, 116 drops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then 117, and then us again.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then,
yeah.
We might need to do a special episode the week when we'll figure something out. We got this. We're good. We're fine.
I think we actually I like it being a week after 118 drops, because that gives plenty of time for people to, like we did with Gideon. Give people plenty of time to listen to the episode before we come right out and basically spoil it for everybody.
Right.
That was the moment that brought Michael Cross onto Plausible Deniability.
It was.
Yeah. And then we were like, why haven't we been doing this from the beginning?
Yeah. Because I'm supposed to be asleep right now.
Go away. Go to sleep.
This is true. We will... go.
It's okay. Fridays are fun. You know what I get to do tomorrow? I get to load 116. I put in the little Patreon break that I do. And by the way, the Patreon break is where I will explain during the episode all the things that are going to happen. But tomorrow I also get to set up the recording studio at KOSU for Red Dirt D&D. And that is such an exciting thing for me. Every Friday I get to set that up for the Sunday recording. It's wonderful. So
that's so fantastic.
Yeah, and I look so forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. It's weird I know it's got to be weird for you guys because you guys don't see each other like once a month. I hear you guys.
Right.
All I'm doing is editing, so you guys are my constant companions.
I was just thinking yesterday, who am I going to hug first when I walk in?
I know.
Because this is a big,
Yeah,
it will be.
And it'll be the first time that we're not getting together to play the characters that we have been playing for 2 years.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, don't need to bring dice or anything, Brook.
What? No, that's,
No, you have to bring your SUA dice.
Yes.
Make sure you bring those. And I'll still bring my backpack.
We'll have our stuff. We're gamers. We're true gamers.
We're gamers. You never know. A session might break out spontaneously.
Yeah. But this will be the first time that we show up not playing the characters in Campaign 1. So,
Michael, look at the chat.
Let's see. How many hit points you got, Michael? Oh, gosh.
Everyone's casting Power Word Sleep on Michael.
That'd just be hilarious. I just look over at the chat and go, oh no.
Oh crap.
What happened to Michael? Powered sleep.
I'm gonna go eat dinner. You go to bed.
I am.
Go get a haircut.
I am. It's 8:00. Hey, everybody, see us in 2 weeks. If you got any questions, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. And we love everybody in chat. You guys have been fantastic. Curtis, Hal, other people that Dunick, I'd have to scroll up. Connor, yeah. And anybody who watches this later, we love you very much. And we'll see you guys soon. I've been Michael Cross.
Johnny Payne.
I'm still Brook Bullock.
Even though I can't see him. We love you all.
They can't see me.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I got